disaster for him, but boy, Mike, the way they let me throw the lights up there.
Yes.
Nicely done, band. Thank you, band. Stephen, Michael, William.
I can still jump at 36, fellas.
Yeah, he's good out there.
Turned 36 on Friday.
That's true.
Celebrated with us here. Karaoke party. He celebrated.
You are considerably younger.
You're the Schmelke of the fandom. You're the only person who's been here for so many conventions. I mean, that's a compliment. It's a good thing.
I know. Ladies and gentlemen, we're celebrating Christmas.
Water in the convention.
It's Christmas.
Come on, everybody.
Yeah, you're a lot younger than us. 36.
Turns out.
I don't feel very young.
Remember 36?
I do.
The war that just ended.
I'll tell you what 36, true 36, when I was 36, I did my first episode of Supernatural.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Season 2.
I met Rich 2 years after he was 36.
So you do the math.
So 30.
That's not our
Don't tell me.
Don't do it.
30.
Carry the 1.
41.
There's an X minus, I'll forget it.
Don't forget the 5.
Should we dive in? Let's dive in.
Let's dive in.
Right, Brennan? Let's invest. Right here.
Hi.
Hi.
So question. If you could have any actor play you in a movie of your life, who would it be and why?
If we could have any actor play ourselves in the story of our life, then who would it be and why?
Yours would be.
Hervé Village, yes.
Oh, doing Living or Dead? I thought you were going to say, you always say Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman would turn down the role. I don't think he would.
I think Gary Oldman would kill as Richard Speight.
He'd be great, but I think
Gary Oldman is Richard Speight Jr.
He would be better.
In Dick.
What do you got, Robbie? Who'd you pick?
Who's going to play me would be the person that would play me. Who's the lead dude in Walking Dead?
Oh, Andrew Lincoln.
Andrew Lincoln.
We were on a train to Comic-Con, Robbie and I, hanging out, and Robbie got up to use a can or whatever he was doing. Sure. Get some drugs out of a sweet spot, and the guy sitting across the aisle goes, dude, that's so dope that you're riding to Comic-Con with Andrew Lincoln. I just took I'm like, that's not Andrew Lincoln. It looks like Andrew Lincoln. It's not Andrew Lincoln. It's Benedict from Supernatural. He goes, oh shit, I better change my Facebook post. And he'd taken a secret photo of you and already posted it.
Should let him
In hindsight, if I know you were posting it, I'd have left it alone.
Yeah.
But,
so Hervé Village as Richard Speight, Andrew Lincoln as me,
and Patrick Dixie as Matthew Cohen.
That would be good, but out of respect, I'm gonna have to say it would have to be the older version of me playing me because I've already played him. Jeffrey D. Morgan.
Jeffrey D. Morgan.
Who's the kid? Did we see? Anybody see the movie Jumanji, the new one?
Yeah. Yes.
It was one of the Jonas Brothers, I think, playing the pilot.
Yeah.
Hey, that guy could play Cohen.
Hey, thanks.
He's handsome.
And he's young.
He's
like
young.
you picked the dude a lot older than you. That's not necessarily. Well, I picked the dead guy, so I guess it's not necessarily.
I'm glad you pointed him out.
Spot on casting, I guess.
We're vocally equivalent, which makes it really
Yeah,
cool.
exactly. He could see you guys could do a duet on that soundtrack.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Thank you for the question. You.
My name is Indiana.
Hi, Indiana. We were just there.
My question is, do any of you know how to floss? And if so, could you guys compete on who's better at flossing?
I don't, so boys have.
You don't floss? As your dentist told you it's the most important thing more than
You have to floss at
I
least
do
2
floss.
times a day.
That's what she said. She wants us to show who would be the best flosser. So
Oh, sure. You want to
use 2 hands, 1 hand, or do you have the wand?
No, I do 2 hands. We competing? Okay.
I was using 2
2, 3, go.
Was that the real thing? Really? Miss, come to the stage.
Yeah, I've never tried it. I've never
Look at
tried
the
it.
confidence in her voice. All right. I'm going to ask a question that gets me up on stage so I can floss.
What kind of song do you need to floss to?
Anything?
Whichever. All right.
Together right now, like this. I'm flossing right now. Well done.
Apparently we're not good at flossing. We apologize. What's your name?
Indiana.
Indiana, you told me that already.
I speak flossing. No,
I have no rhythm.
I can't do it.
Let's see them hips shake and be fussy. Come on, Rick, pick up that tempo. Double time.
Man.
I'm here to floss. Floss, floss, floss. Flossing is so good. Floss, 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 yeah. Hi-hat, floss. Hi-hat, floss. Rich is having too much fun.
Let's go. Thank you. Thank you, Indiana.
Indiana, you're a hero.
Thank you for teaching me that. I never tried that before.
So
I mean,
answer your
I need to
question.
take away here.
Thank you. Bye.
Look at Rico.
Yeah.
Jeez. Who knew?
Nailed it.
Crazy.
You.
Hey dudes.
Hey.
Hey, dude.
So my question is, what's the craziest thing you guys have ever done together?
Craziest thing we've ever done together.
So there's so many.
I'll tell you one. I think this counts. Robbie and I worked on a program years ago. Sadly, years ago. It was called Kings of Con. It's a show we made together. And we used crowdfunding. The good people like yourselves helped us get it off the ground. And one of the things we did, we didn't know the crowdfunding would be as successful as it was. You guys really blew our minds with that whole support. So we had set a lofty goal that if we got $200,000, Matt would strip naked and run the neighborhood. Much to his chagrin, we passed that watermark pretty quickly. We had already shot the pilot for that show, which we used as teasers to sort of help raise money. And in that teaser, Rob had been totally naked in his front yard for the show. Now they had Hollywood tour buses stopping by to show Andrew Lincoln's bottom. It was created this whole cottage industry up in the hills. So Rob didn't want to do nudity in his neighborhood, so my neighborhood got picked as the neighborhood. And Matt brought his wife and his baby, newborn. He came over, and while my wife made sandwiches, he stripped nude and ran the streets of Silver Lake. While Rob and I filmed it from different angles, like a couple of pervs.
Until my neighbor yelled at us.
The neighbor yelled at us, made a U-turn, and came back and gave us the finger.
Yep.
Rob was like, just walk down here. And I was like, all right. He's like, okay. Click. Oh no, and he goes, all right, go now.
And Rob, if I'm not wrong,
Right here?
Yeah, we're in the middle of the street, in the middle of the
He was hiding in the bushes before.
I
saw
swear
it in the bushes. And then Rob was it was funny, we had two camera angles. One was going to be the wide angle, sort of tracked him down, and one was going to be the fall long camera. And Rob sprained his arm voluntarily to be the tracking camera. I'll run with him, I got it. So fully dressed Rob and totally nude Matt sprinted around the neighborhood of Silver Lake.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. There are
some choices we've made that are questionable. That's one of them. And that goes with one of the crazier things.
Yeah, because normally when we talk about crazy stories and things that I've done, there's alcohol involved.
This was not totally sober. This was totally sober. This was one of those things that we did with clear minds, which calls into question our minds.
In the daytime, nonetheless.
Anything else to top that, fellas? Is that?
I mean, I think that pretty much
good, right?
does it all. We were sober, there was daytime, and I was naked, and you had a camera. It doesn't... What other lines are there to cross?
Well, the great thing about it is, it's like, while you guys are doing that, Mandy and JC are in the house, and Matt's running the neighborhood, and JC's like, hey man, you want lemonade with your sandwich? Like, she don't care. She's like, sure do! Man, genitals mean nothing to her. Anyway, good stuff.
I think you can find that video. It's still out there somewhere.
Oh yeah, I think our Indiegogo stuff is kind of just still, all those videos are still up there.
Is
areas
blurred?
Thank goodness.
I had to do the blurring because I was the editor of that thing, and the man's area shifts position a lot when it's on the move, and it really taxed my tracking skills. I'd be like, yeah, good. Well, not good. That's over there. Okay, when he rounds the bend, it's right behind him. It's sort of making the turn after him. I gotta.
Thank you so much for your question. Hi, how are you?
Hi, Rob, I just want to say you look really nice today.
Oh, thank you very much.
You sure do, Bobby. We were all proud of where Rob cleaned up.
He's always adorable, so.
Thank you.
Richard,
They're pulling up. They're pulling up this Rob naked, I think. This would just be Rob's bare bottom. Yeah, this is the trailer. I think it's in here somewhere. Oh, Rob shirtless. Rob, good show. Here's Rob, skirt fuller. There's Rob. Oh, there's the bottom on Rob. Rob dropping the mic.
If you introduced me like that, I'd have punched you in the teeth.
You do not bite the hand that feeds you, and you sure as hell don't let it give you a tongue job.
I'm the word adjustment right now, but that's the biz.
Oh, excellent! That's very good.
There it is.
It's a good show.
Andrew Lincoln's bottom. That's Rob Benedict playing the role, but Andrew Lincoln came in and we CGI'd his bottom onto Rob.
Anyway, yes ma'am. Thank you very much for what you said.
Richard, I wanted to ask you if you always knew that Gabriel was still alive.
No, I found out right before, in last season, it was episode 13 in which they brought my character back and revealed Gabriel to be in prison. And right before that, I was on the phone call with Andrew Dabb about an episode I was directing. And he said, oh, by the way, during the business call, he said, by the way, we're bringing you back. I said, I know, I'm directing episode 20. He said, no, we're bringing Gabriel back. And I said, really? Yeah, no, we are. I'm like, huh. And he sent me the little outline, so I was curious. How'd you figure that out? And he had Asmodeus reveals, and there's Gabriel with his mouth sewn shut. And I said, did my wife pitch this storyline? Is this did the town come together and had Robbie in the room and JC and Matt? And I'm like, go here. Yeah, so no, I did not know. I was as surprised as you folks were. Only I was surprised earlier.
I wasn't surprised, I knew he was alive.
Oh, well, that makes one of us. So everyone was surprised with you, but good call. Your foresight was spot on, because you were right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hey.
First of all, I'm going to say, Matt, my grandma watches General Hospital all the time, and she loves you on there. I just got a photo up with you, send it to her, and be like, oh, and she was like, oh my God, tell Matt I love him on General Hospital.
You tell your grandma that I love her very much, so.
Dr. Monroe sends his love.
That's right.
And my question is, if you all were stranded on an island alone, who in the cast would you bring with you?
We're stranded alone.
Yeah, well, like if somebody else had to be with you, who would you want it to be and why?
But if we're stranded alone, how can we bring it with us?
From the
There's
clouds.
holes in the question. Holes all over the question.
From the clouds.
I would take, I'd take Misha Collins. I think that he seems to me to be the kind of guy, actually I know he's the kind of guy that under duress would have a cool head and get things done. And also, he's the kind of guy that actually, if you throw him in the middle of the jungle, he can survive. He's just going to know how to make fire.
I would bring Jerry Padalecki because he could reach the coconuts.
If I was John from Supernatural in the 70s, I would bring Mary so that there would be a Supernatural.
Matt, you're going to write a script on the island? What?
Mary and I are going to
Hammering out some storylines? Thank you very much.
Outline this is one.
Write the Bible for the 5-year arc.
No, he didn't.
All right, go. Hey.
Hi.
So I was wondering if you could be any supernatural villain or like, I guess, creature, what would you choose and why?
Robbie, if you could be any supernatural villain and/or creature, why? And who?
I always thought Abaddon was kind of a badass.
Yeah.
She looks cool.
Yeah.
I'd be Abaddon.
Couldn't agree more. Maddie?
I would be Jeffrey's Vincent's
Asmodeus.
Because I always dreamt of having a beard and hair like Jeff Bridges, and he's right there.
Yeah.
Right in the pocket, white suit, just doing it.
You often talk about the bad guys in the show.
Yeah.
Just wanted to see.
I go on and on about
I
it.
know.
I'm going to go with Sully because I know he's not a bad guy, but he's a fun-loving creature who is so helpful to the kids. And so lovable.
Who directed that episode?
Genius, a young upstart.
Anyway, we're not out of time.
Barely out of cinema school, that kid. What? Whip smart. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi guys. The ladies who were on here earlier asked telling what their band name was going to be. So it's the three of you. What is your band name?
Hank Plank and the 2x4s.
There you go.
Thank you.
You, Hank?
No, you are. I'm not. I'm a backup player. You're Hank Plank with the 2x4s.
I'm Hank Plank?
Were you going to be Hank Plank and the 2x4s or Phil Dill and the Pickles? It's up to you.
I think Hank Plank just needs to thought of that first.
I had 3 fictitious band names when I was in high school. The reason why I'm answering so quickly is I had 3 fictitious band names at Hank when I was a kid. Hank Plank and the 2x4s. Well, I had 4, but one's inappropriate.
Yeah.
I had Hank Plank and the 2x4s. I had Phil Dill and the Pickles. I had the Foreskins.
No surprise. And
then the last one was the Elastic Waistband. So when we decided to create a band for Supernatural and they wouldn't hire Loud and Swain, I said, well, what if we create a fictitious cover band and we call it the Elastic Waistband? So I pulled one of my fictitious high school band names and it became an actual band. So the Elastic Waistband.
Robbie, did you have any, I guess you didn't because you always had a band,
Yeah,
right?
real bands.
Do you have any fake band names? I had 2, but I wanted to see.
No, well, the first band I was in, we just lip-synced. So we weren't an actual band. We didn't know how to play our instruments yet, so we just lip-synced and made videos of us lip-syncing to different, Journey songs.
Yeah.
And we were called, we all lived on dead-end streets, so we were called the Dead Ends, E-N-Z. Which is
So
off of the band,
yeah.
So we were the Dead Ends.
That's pretty solid. I like that.
Yeah, bro.
I have obviously never been in a band, but when I was going through my punk rock stage, I had 2 band names. One, which actually turned out to be a band, but the first one was called Cream Puff Roadkill, was my band name, and then the second one was Mary Poppins Army, which I believe ended up being a band one day. Yeah.
Both those bands sound real family friendly.
Yeah, they're super family friendly.
Sound like real toe tappers.
Super anti-establishment, rebellious young.
So Hank Plank and the 2x4s, are we an acapella band?
No, we're playing this.
Wow, what do I play?
Well, you're Hank Plank. You play lead guitar, you're lead singer.
Oh man.
It's actually
And then you're the drummer and the bass player. It's a pretty simple setup.
Right.
More like Stray Cats-ish kind of.
Yeah.
It's got a drum machine, is what he meant.
You just go like this.
Show my abs. Yo. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, my name's Robbie, and my question is actually for Rob.
Awesome.
Let's see what you did there.
question is, if Becky ever lost her total obsession for Sam and went back to Chuck, how do you think he would have broke the news to her that he's actually God? And do you think the relationship would have worked?
It's a tough subject for me. I don't like the way that ended up. My heart was broke. I really thought that Becky and I had something. And then she goes AWOL and ties Sam to the bed, goes a little nutty. I didn't think she had that in her. So maybe she came back around and she's like, I want you back, Chuck. And I'd be like, you know, everyone else call me Chuck, but Becky, call me God. And I'll rub that in her face a little bit. This is what you left. You could have been God's girlfriend. You could have told our children, your dad is God. But no. And then after about a half an hour of that, I go, it's cool, because I really like her a lot. And so I'd ask her if she wants to go out. And then we'd have a nice dinner and go dancing. And then it would write itself. But from there, until a couple months later, I'm sure she'd break my heart again and run away. And I'd get over it. But yeah, that's how it would go. Thanks, Robbie.
Nice question, Robbie. Yeah.
Hi. This question is for Rich and Matt. I just wanted to know what's your favorite part of Friday Night Karaoke?
My favorite part of Friday Night Karaoke is watching people who are not used to getting up on stage and performing, get up on stage and perform. Matt and I didn't build that for ourselves to be on stage. We get plenty of time on stage. It's really fun to watch people who thought about the song, gotten excited about it, maybe even costumed up, randomly hear their name called, because of course it's, I'm picked by the DJ, and get up and have that experience of being in front of all the positive energy and screaming fans who are there in attendance and all the cameras and the lights, and getting to have that experience of being on stage and performing something they would have been thinking about and looking forward to. It's fun to watch play out. Matt?
Yeah, I just like the idea it's a pick-me-up after a long flight. I'm always flying in last second, I'm tired, I get on the stage, I'm like, ugh, how am I going to get through karaoke? And then, you guys. It always turns out great. It's always, I don't want to be like, oh man, here we are. I'm like, while I'm on this stage, I'm pumped and happy because you guys make me that way. The second I step off, I'm literally a sleeping zombie to the hotel room. But you guys make it great, so you guys are my favorite part. I think Rob was the same, man. You haven't obviously been around karaoke last couple, but you've been at plenty of them before. You guys, Rich included, are literally the thing that keep us doing karaoke, period. It's all based around you guys. It's a free party.
One of the reasons I stopped going is because, these weekends are a lot for us. We work a lot of hours, and you can't go to karaoke and not give 100%. You can't go and just kind of phone it in. Like, that's what it is. Like, the energy is so intense. And I want to sing every song, and I want to jump around and dance, and so I was just wearing myself out. I got to the point where, health-wise, I couldn't do it because I couldn't go and go 50%. I had to go all out. So, yeah, absolutely. The energy of that thing is amazing. I'm planning on coming back towards the end of this year, sort of Richard's big send-off. So we're going to
hand the banner over to Matt.
Yeah. Those of you who don't know, next year, it's a weird status just came over me as I was about to say this. Rich is gonna get some rest. Robbie's gonna continue saving his lungs and probably pop in here and there, and Rich will do the same. But it'll be my shit show next year.
Or Matt Cohen's karaoke, as we realized. We realized halfway through the event last night that karaoke there's an extra K in there, on the screen. It's like creation karaoke.
In no way is that a drug reference, just a simple.
It's just a bad grammar reference.
Yeah, but next year will be crazy. It'll be a lot of me yelling whatever city that we're in until my voice goes away, and dancing around in some ridiculous costume. What the hell is sitting on that chair in row A? Oh, that's awful.
Oh no,
from here.
Oh, that's just a...
That's great. Yeah. Nothing more comfortable than a bed in the front row by itself.
Any given Sunday.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah. Thanks for your questions.
Thanks for the question.
All right, you.
Over here.
Hi, I'm Tess.
Hi, Tess.
Hi. My question is for Richard. In terms of directing, do you find it challenging sometimes to get your interpretation across of what you want the scene to be when the actors might on the show want the scene to be different?
Well, I think for starters, I think the directing is a collaboration. I mean, you come in with your ideas and your vision of what things are, but it's a collaboration between you and the department heads in every department. The art department, the scenic design, the DP, the camera operators, and props and everything. So things you kind of you come in with your vision, and your vision is molded as you talk to what's doable financially, what's doable time-wise, and all these kind of things. In terms of performance-wise, I've never had an issue. Because I come in with my ideas, but I also always want to hear the ideas of the people playing the characters, especially when you're talking about the veterans, Jared Jensen and Misha, and Shepard Becker, who's on the show, Pellegrino, and these people who know their characters way better than I do, and have made decisions for those characters way before I ever showed up. So I bring my ideas to the table, I listen to what they have to say, and where it lands is where it should be. So I never feel like, oh, my vision's not getting carried out. I always feel like, oh wow, my vision has gotten enhanced and improved, and now what I'm watching is way better than what I thought it could have been. Because you're bringing the talents of the people who do this every day to bear, and letting their skills, be an asset to your vision and design. So I find it to be actually positive. Thank you.
Hi, I love all of you, by the way. You guys are just so adorable, and I enjoy karaoke so much. My question is actually for Rich. So during season 13, like towards the end, we noticed that when Gabriel and Sam, Dean, and Castiel went to the other Earth, that you landed in a particular spot.
Misha's
Who came up with that?
Yeah.
Who came up with that? Because that was...
Misha and I pitched it. They had me laying over there and they were over there, and we said, wouldn't it be better if my face landed in Misha's groin? And Misha's like, yeah, it makes sense to me that I would be spread eagle and your face would plant in my crotch. I'm like, yeah, and then we got the writers together, we had sort of a serious conversation about it, like, character-wise, it does make sense, it seems to move the story forward in a way that is logical, and we've known that at some point, Gabriel's face would end up in Castiel's crotch. That's just we've known that has been on the table since day one. So I think it was just the inevitable culmination of Eric Kripke's vision when he started the show, and the arc of Sam and Dean that had been leading that direction, and certainly Castiel's journey had been pointing to this kind of moment. And I think it was sort of the justification of why did we bring Gabriel back, if not to have his face buried in Castiel's loins. I think it made sense all around. I think it was a solid choice. No, it takes a village to get my face in another man's crotch, and that village is supernatural. Thank you.
Great. Speaking of Eric Kripke, I'd like to do a shameless plug. Those of you who enjoy Supernatural, the man that has brought us Supernatural, the lovely Eric Kripke, has a movie out, The Clock in the Walls. Make it a point to go buy a ticket and support this man. It's a fantastic movie. It's got Jack Black and a slew of other fantastic actors.
Kate Blanchett.
Go support that movie if you can.
And by the way, and then when you do, take a picture of yourself holding your ticket stubs. Kripke's online like crazy, retweeting pictures of folks who are supporting the film. So go do it. I hear it's awesome. You.
Hello.
Hi.
So my question is, what do you guys think of all the fan art and fan fiction made about you?
The what?
The fan art and the fan fiction made
The fan